Que lo que mi gente, what is up guys? It is your girl Christina, and in today's video, well, one of today's videos, I wanted to touch on this subject of whether mothers are contributing towards creating and perpetuating these generations of man babies, basically these spoiled men that can't do anything for themselves, and yeah, they're basically spoiled. And they expect women to do everything for them, and some of them are low-key very misogynistic. So I was inspired to do this video because of one of the pages that I follow on Instagram posted this, and so it sparked a discussion about this. And here are some of the comments that I saw under that page's post. Now, I did not grow up with any brothers. My mom had no sons, and I don't have any sons myself. I have two daughters. So I was raised in a family with just me and my sister, and like I said, I have two daughters. So I never personally experienced this firsthand. However, growing up and stuff, and as I've gotten older, I have heard about this. And I have heard that this happens especially in the Hispanic community. Now, of course, that's not to say that this is, exclusive to the Hispanic community. Of course not. I mean, I'm sure this happens in a lot of cultures around the world. Probably not as much in the United States, because I feel like here it's more expected that, once you turn 18, it's like, all right, it's time to spread your wings and fly, especially if you're a guy. And it's kind of looked down on, or women will kind of look down on you if after a certain age you're still living at your mama's house. So I feel like here in the United States it's kind of different, but in a lot of cultures, again, I have heard of this happening, well, mainly Hispanic culture. So the issue that people seem to say is that there is a big difference in how mothers treat and raise their daughters versus how they treat and raise their sons. I've seen, or I've heard people say that with daughters, women are much more strict, that the mothers, they're very much on top of them from, a young age, to learn how to cook, learn how to clean, learn how to do laundry, basically learn to be a homemaker, and basically preparing them to be a wife, because that's all it is for us women. We just have to grow up and learn how to please a man. But with their sons, on the other hand, it's very they do everything for them. They cook for them, they clean for them, they do the laundry. A lot of them will allow their sons to live with them up into their late 20s, early 30s, rent-free, and these men basically become inútiles. How do you say that in English? Worthless, they can't do nothing, and but it's these moms, they kind of they encourage that, and then so they raise their sons to basically be fully dependent on them for these things, and then once their sons get married, they expect the wife to do those same things for them as well. So it's basically these men grow up only being good to go to work, which, I mean, of course you should go to work and make money and provide for your family. I think as a man, that is something to be expected, but that's it. They go to work and that's all they're good for making money and doing their other, duties, that's it. And then with women, it's we're expected to do both of those things, but on top of that, also expected to keep a clean house, to make food for the husband, to take care of the kids, and everything else. So these men basically grow up with this expectation to be treated as kings, and basically to view women as maids, as servants. I feel like that really doesn't do anyone any good. I mean, unless you are a woman that is I don't know, I guess you are okay with that type of lifestyle, and you are okay just being a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home mother, and you don't mind just being home cooking and cleaning and taking care of kids, and then of course, I mean, I guess you won't have a problem with that. But at the same time, for women that do not aspire to simply be homemakers or stay-at-home moms, you know, it makes it difficult when you like start to form or get into relationships with men that were very coddled by their mothers and very spoiled, and then they expect you to pretty much do everything for them because they can't, you know? I feel like it's very unfair because a lot of these young girls, you know, they kind of miss out on just simply being kids, like enjoying their childhood and enjoying their teenage years because their mothers are so pressed on them learning to be a housewife or whatever, which I'm not saying that young girls shouldn't learn to do these things. I mean, they definitely should. I mean, I'm 31 and I still need to bump up my cooking skills, you know? I'm not saying that at all, but it's to make it to the point where it's like that's all they just focus on, and they don't really let their daughters just go out and have fun and chill with their friends. But with their sons, they're free to do whatever they want, you know? So I feel like it's just unfair. And it just like creates these unbalanced expectations from these men. And like I said, they don't know how to do anything, you know? And I feel like that can be very frustrating, especially for the women, you know, that get into relationships with these men where they're basically expected to be low-key servants and, like I said, do everything for these men. So what can we do to combat this? I would say, as a mother, if you happen to have sons, I would say maybe teenage years, like start giving them chores. Teach them how to actually do things around the house. Don't have them be entirely reliant on you to do everything for them. You know, teach them how to use a washer and a dryer, you know, because some of these men don't even know how to like boil water, you know what I mean? So teach them how to do simple chores around the house. Once they're older, I mean, I feel like a grown man, you should at least know how to make some rice, you know, at least know how to grow some chicken. It shouldn't be to the point where like you're not going to eat unless someone else prepares a meal for you. Like if it got down to that point, like you're gonna starve versus making yourself some food, you know? So yeah, just teaching them to be a little more self-reliant, you know, on certain things, and just not to automatically expect that a woman should be doing these things for you. So this is where, like I have said in previous videos, it's like I'm kind of like on the one hand, I'm for traditional gender roles, but to an extent, you know, I'm not like I how can I say, like I support them, but I also feel like there should be a balance, you know, especially in this day and age. And if you are living in the United States, I feel like there definitely has to be more of a balance, because if women are expected to work and make money, because the truth is it's very hard to afford living here on one single income unless you're like balling, then I feel like men should also be expected to, you know, help with some of that stuff, like cleaning and, you know, cooking for themselves or even cooking for their family if need be, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know what it is when it comes to mothers with sons. I don't know, like this is something I've always kind of heard about, but like I said, I don't have sons, so I don't know if, I don't know, I just haven't experienced that. If any of you guys are mothers and you have sons, do you feel this way? Do you feel like you spoil them a lot and you coddle them and you just kind of do everything for them, versus if you also have a daughter where you kind of expect her to do things and maybe you're a bit more harsh on her? I don't know. Like I said, these are just things that I've always just kind of heard and I have kind of seen myself. So, but again, this is not all mothers. I don't think all mothers do this. I do think there are some moms that are like, I don't care, my son is going to learn how to clean after himself. My son is going to learn how to cook. He is going to be a self-reliant man, things like that, you know. So of course you can never generalize, you know. I'm very much against generalizing, if you haven't noticed that already. So anyway, that was it for this video, guys. Let me know your opinion on this topic. Do you feel that mothers contribute towards, you know, creating these generations of misogynistic man babies? Or do you feel like, no, it's not really the mother's fault? Is it society's fault? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.